G'day everybody, and welcome back for some more Stationeers, and hopefully without any indoor weather this week, because that was a bit terrifying. Although, as has been pointed out, perhaps not as bad as it could have been. Maybe without the storm, I might have saved the game and reloaded the game and come back with an entirely Venusian atmosphere within my base, which could have been a thing and would have been awful. But yeah. Hopefully not that today, but more importantly, hopefully no power outage for me today. That sucked. That was very unfun. Got partway into Archean and then just boo. Very first time I got to find out what my UPS sounds like when it's on. Unfortunately, my UPS only works for my main PC and the central monitor on my PC. So, it took me a couple of moments to work out why most of my screens had turned off. So, yeah. Those things. Fun. Also had, just on the topic of things going weirdly, had a really weird issue with my mouse just before going live. I don't know if any of you have had this experience with... Well, any of you who have pets have probably had this experience, where one of their hairs gets caught in, like, the mouse. I got a mosquito caught in there. I thought I'd missed the mosquito, but clearly I had at least stunned it enough to knock it out. It had landed where my mouse was. I'd moused across, and I was looking, I'm like, is that a... No, that's not a hair in my mouse. That is a mosquito. So that was a thing. So, yes. That's how my days started. But thank you, Share Martin. Thank you so much for a year. And thank you, Ramirez, for 25 months. And the Doctor for 14 months. I am going to continue working on my furnace room to start off today, and hopefully enclosing it so that it can become a separate room and not combining its volume to increase the size of the gigantic, oversized, let's have a storm inside room. Ooh, I didn't weld up that corner one. Let's do that. It's clearly in the middle of that and forgot. And didn't realize I hadn't welded the roof yet. Grey Cloak, the main cooling line goes down to 15 degrees and then instantly goes up from 15 degrees when the heat is added. Having it cool down further would just delay the time before the next batch of heat is added, so it's not going to actually expedite anything at all. Because as soon as it reaches that point, more heat gets added anyway. It's just a set point that I chose to have more heat added to ensure that my cool gases are definitely below 20 degrees Celsius. Which was a somewhat arbitrary set point that I was just like, yeah, that's livable. That'll work. But yeah. Okay. So, fill in this wall, then I can put in the airlocks, and then I can put in some lights. I need to put more lights around my base. My base is dark. No Mozzies on Venus yet. Nope, no chickens either. But maybe one day there will be chickens. Is that going to be enough? I think that's going to be enough. Finish off. Guess I'll wait for 2 more. end game you're raising chickens? I don't know. It used to be, but they've fixed it so that chickens are no longer end game. As in, chickens should no longer end your game. Because chickens used to reproduce like rabbits and were basically unkillable. Those who weren't aware of that little quirk of Stationeers. Zero Zemiel, if you put the right pressure in the right things, you can blow up a whole lot of stuff in this game. Just all comes down to that pressure. And putting enough gas, enough heat into that small space. There was a while ago that Capac and I did a playthrough on a slightly modified Europa. And we, at the end of toward the end of each stream, we mucked around with various forms of air cannon and the like. It was really quite fun. I'm not sure all the techniques we used are still functional, unfortunately. I think a lot of them are. Does anyone remember what some of the issues I was facing last week in terms of setting this stuff up? I'm thinking I'm going to be finding them out in a minute, and I don't remember what all the problems I was thinking about were. I've played a few too many other things where I've had to really think about what I'm doing, and I've lost track of where I was. Which is a bit annoying. I try not to do that, and I did go back and watch a bit of the end of last week, but it wasn't enough. Alright, that is almost done. Just 3 to go. Thanks ATR Andy. Thank you for the Prime sub. And Chiro, thank you very much for the gift subs. Thank you very kindly. Why do I always put tools in the left hand? I suspect it's a proximity slash the way that the quick drop works that it ends up that way. Because a tool is usually the first thing I grab, so it's the closest hand. That'll be all. Nothing more sinister than that. I'm sure some of you will like what I did there. Alright, let's stop that. I'm sure we'll need more later, but this'll do for now. Okay, so I need to find some flat walls so I can finish the floor. I think I had more around, but I don't know whether they got destroyed in the storm. There we go, flat wall. And we go, where is it? Flat, large panel, plating. That's what I wanted. Guarantee this plating is going to be the wrong way around. As it always is whenever I use it. I forget my stair landing. Oh yeah, good point. Hey, it wasn't the wrong way around. Winning. Okay, I have a landing now. Alright, so I need to move the hot gas around to here to connect into the hot thing, but maybe maybe I should... Should I build the airlock first? Thanks, Casado. Thank you for the Prime sub. Am I planning on using the rail arms at some point? Oh, for those of you who don't follow the Stationeers Discord, let's see if I can get the little GIF of these things working, because it's really quite cool. Yeah, here we go. There is now Larry, which is a linear articulated rail entity. So instead of the Harveys for harvesting plants and planting new plants, there are these movable rail things. And oh my gosh, when I upgrade my greenhouse to make hydrogen, I am gonna have to break my brain figuring out how to use these things. They look very cool. I'm firmly of the opinion that a game like Stationeers benefits from any sort of regular motion around the base, because it's quite a static game a lot of the time. So having something like that will be very cool. Did any of my junk end up on the floor in here? No. No, it did not. All right. Oh, just for giving us a position at the start of the stream, where is this tank at? 3.38 megapascals. Oh, it's getting there. It's getting there. We're making progress. Yes. Okay, cool. Right. Now, airlock or get gas in here? Do I need to have the gas connection to outside after I... Yes, I do. Okay, I'm going to build the airlock first. Check that on the floor. I don't think I need the atmospheric landing pad in my inventory. No, my water tank won't be boiling hot. It might be warm, but it shouldn't be boiling hot. Or maybe it will be. It made me curious, and I was already far away from it. Let's see how hot it is. 76 degrees. It's pretty warm. So that's going to need some cooling done to it later. Yep, I'm fine with using a bit of floorage. I now know that I need to divide the rooms, so I should be able to prevent that happening again. Did I end up with any doors up here? Oh, I've got a railing. Let's use that. I want elegant railing is in here. This is the work area. Let's try a different type. Yeah. Thanks, Tijo. Thank you for 26 months. We want no mutants in our base today. Wouldn't be the worst that could happen, but yeah, ideally not. Still looking for the other bits that I... So I've got advanced airlock. Portable scrubber. Grab the light because I want to put a roof light in the airlock. Hit door. Okay. New door. Oh, right, because I used up my door kits to make the temporary doors that were going to allow me to... Yeah, I remember now. Oh, that iron was almost busted. Do I have any copper up there? I do not. Let's smelt some copper. Oh, one of the suggestions that was made that I really like the idea of doing is setting up a second furnace. One that is just connected directly to outside Venusian air. So it has just a atmospheric intake. Because it can be used for smelting copper, for smelting gold, for off-gassing a bunch of things without actually requiring any power inputs whatsoever. So that's something I want to do today as well. Don't let me forget. The time where I might actually pay attention to what you're saying. I'm not talking about dumping the gases. Those gases will still get sorted through, but I can have an input that's directly connected to outside. That's what I'm thinking. Door? Oh wait, that's a bad way to do the door. Need the inputs on the inside to make it easier to use. We gotta walk straight in, and I'll use the 2-block volume to have more space for pass-throughs and more space for vents. Oh yeah, I could reuse these doors too. It's probably not a bad idea, is reuse a lot of this equipment here. This isn't required. I'm sure I'll need more than this eventually, so it's not a disaster that I've forgotten to do that, but not a bad idea. Where's my hand dryer? There it is. Go check the... Actually, I'll go check these in the bottom airlock. You're gonna have to redo the bingo card. Uh-huh. Thanks, James. Thanks for 16 months. I might... also shrink this side. Which annoyingly creates a little bit of gas inside. As long as I'm quick about it, it's not usually all that much. Okay, let's grab those other pieces. Now I need to make some powered vents. Powered vent. How quick is that to make? Fairly quick. So I'm not going to go the big vent, but I do want a decent... I do want the powered vents. They do make airlocks much quicker. There's a part of me that wants to put inline tanks for the gas volume so that I don't have to have the pressure for the airlock set at 0.
Hunger caution.
But if I'm going to do that, I will also need to have some sort of overpressure protection for those tanks. Which I think I understand how to do these days. Which I didn't the first time I tried to do that way ages ago. Oh, wait a second. That's not where I want to put that. Thanks, Worms. Thanks for the Prime sub. And thanks, Ceres. Thank you for the 4 months. I want to put the light directly over where you enter the airlock, so... Annoyingly, these vents don't sit centered. I'd have to use the really big ones to center them. But I don't think I need the really big ones for this little room. Just trying to think about where would look best to place these. Hey, Shadow. How's it going? Got to think about where the pipes are running as well and the cables, because that's going to make issues with the doors. I'm going to go there, and I'll cut the wires, and I'll put this one here. So I'll run this around the corner this time. It's out of the way. And so that I can also branch the airlock power off it. Yeah, Shadow Drake, I haven't made this big enough to fit 2 big vents in a way that I would like it, because you'd have to have it on one of the walls, and no, I don't want to do that. And I want to have a light in the airlock as well. So maybe I should make it 4 blocks and lift the ceiling. Maybe that could work better. Because then I can put it on each end wall. Yeah, maybe we'll do that. Because now I should be able to do this. Except I need more for this, so let's go make some more. I'm not a big fan of a big vent on the floor. Plus, I think it'll be tricky to organize the piping and cabling and such for a big vent on the floor. Because I've got to put the cabling in for the doors and all the other stuff. So I think it'll actually make it really quite challenging with where the cables run from doors. Thanks, Commander Ben. Thanks for 18 months. Morning. So, instead what I'm going to do is this. One there. And one there. I'll have to move that cable again. The top we go. And I'll just join it up this way for now. Once I figure out how this hallway is going to look, I'll be able to more permanently situate this wire. Rather than having it floating, which, as you might imagine, upsets me. Feels weird. Okay, cable sorted. So the big vents should be fine in this volume and should be able to make this airlock run pretty quickly. And then I should be able to fit the light up here. We'll have a nice light inside the airlock because I'm trying to get away from having dark spaces all the time. Yeah. Oh, welding torch. Crowbar for the window. Just open these up. Now these need electronic parts, I think, to complete them. I'm probably going to need more iron. I don't remember how many parts I need. Oh. Hydration critical. They need 2. And I need 4 plastic sheets. Corendry, the xenomorph habitat's downstairs. That's where they go. Into the vents. Because that's the service corridors. Plastic sheets. Do I have any up on the wall? I think I saw some, yeah. Screwdriver. Welding torch. And we're done. And I have the joys of figuring out how to fit everything in here. Neatly. Okay. So I had a console lying around here. That can go on this wall. So that makes the most sense to me. I need a gas sensor. Do I have a panic room for safety? The panic room for safety is inside my suit. I remain inside my suit and panic there. Shiraman, the weapons printer that's in Stationeers is a bit of a relic of a past era. They were planning to have events like aliens attacking your base. And there were events like that were actually in the game. Never enabled, but programmed in. Those are what that was for. I don't know if they plan to have anything like that later on. I suspect that that's one of the things that they've decided is no longer a thing they're going to do. But I'm not sure. I haven't heard the devs talk about it anytime in any sort of recency. I don't think the guns worked for the chickens, Shadow. Yeah, that was the whole Marine uniforms and things. Like, the game's been in development since 2017, so there are a few things that were like, yeah, this was a great idea. No, this was not a good idea. This does not suit our game at all. Let's make some cable, because I'm going to need lots of it. While that's being made, let's rip up the other cable. So many random ended bits of cable around here. Okay, that'll do for now. Actual combat in this would be a sort of a nightmare. Yeah, I think it would. I think actual combat in Stationeers would be worse than actual combat is in Space Engineers. I just don't. Yeah, the game's really not built around that. It's built around fun engineering challenges. Why did I press C then? Stupid force of habit.
Hunger critical.
Yeah. I'm gonna feed myself in a second. Just want to get these cables down. Thank you, suit lady. No, James, embedding cables inside frames is something I hate doing. Like, actually hate doing, because if I ever burn a cable, I can never find it. And I have burnt cables in the most unexpected ways, and so it's just an absolute hard rule that I do not do it. It's just one of those things that I have made a habit of avoiding like the plague. Like, sure, you can use fuses to make that safe, but you can still mess up a fuse. You can still have it not protecting everything. Yeah. I just think having cables accessible is the safest option. Why did I leave my oven on? That was a mistake. That should be off. Okay, I've eaten, I've drunk. Get back in the suit. And now that this room's safe, later today, once I've finished the furnace room, I might have time to hook the greenhouse up to the gas or organizing system so that the oxygen from the greenhouses starts to get pumped through the rest of the base. As you make a fair point that I have not done a very good job of avoiding the plague recently. All the more reason not to do anything else that would make it more likely that I get hit by it. Alright, I need some inline tanks, which I don't think I've got many of around here. Yeah. Get a few more of these. Then I need a back pressure regulator, or two. Because I am gonna make the vents pressurize some canisters and see if that's gonna make it quicker for running the airlock at an actual pressure. Because as much as I am mostly happy to utilize the whole open the doors at 0 kPa, it does feel a bit cheesy to let that happen, let that be a thing, and not repressurize before opening the door. think I need to have at least 2 of the larger inline tanks on each side. Also, this system isn't going to be usable initially because I don't have this part of my base pressurized. Well, at least I can install it now anyway. Glass walls in the airlock. Don't know how I feel about that. Not sure. I should fire up this light though before I get too carried away. Bring other stuff in here. Air tank low. There we go. We can actually have a light on. Already. So, can this fit inside or it might make some more sense if I just put these outside. Maybe on this side of things? Yeah. A pair there. And a pair there. Yeah. That one goes to these two. The other one goes to the other two, and then I can decide which is going to which side of the room. Inline filters look like... You mean the inline tanks, Tidjo? Yeah, I can kind of see that. Looking a bit lamppost-ish. Alright, then I need to get my pressure regulators. So that these don't explode. That's an appropriate gigantic emote, Zero Zemil. Pressure regulator. Yes, Daz, the pipes not matching was deliberate because the wires were in the way to, if I wanted to make them matching. It actually was not possible. Are you talking the colors? Yeah, this cable from the light is in the way. I possibly could make it so they match. Now I've got to decide whether I care. Wait, back pressure. Do I want a back pressure regulator or a purge valve? I want a purge valve, don't I? Yeah. Oh, actually, I do want to change this up. The way this is not going to work for me. I'd like to have these valves on the inside. So, Move the cable. And then I should be able to go from here out, and they will match, mostly. Because now what I can do is put this in this spot. Up, 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 up. That's the wrong way around. No, I button mashed and I hit the wrong button. No, that's not the way around I want that. Oh. Why have I never learnt which way things rotate? Arg. Oh, I think that's the right way. Yep. I'll get there eventually. Yeah, zero, something like that. Weird highlight shenanigans that they added. Hopefully no one makes the mistake of selecting the on-screen celebration, which I basically made. I set up to try and make it so people wouldn't accidentally select it. No. The purge valve isn't for liquid things, because that's not a liquid connection. Other side? Oh, the other side is. Ha! You're right, it is. Dang it! What's the thing I want then? I want... Is it just a pressure regulator? Because I don't want to set... I just want to... I want to set the pressure inside this pipe, and when it gets to a critical level, then it'll just allow gas to come out. Back pressure. Yeah, okay. Oh, thank you. I know what I want to achieve, I just sometimes don't know what the names are. Whoops. I don't know what I just dropped on the ground then, but I'll fix it in a second. Okay, so that should be fine. I can now put passive vents on those. Cable them up. We've got our extra feature. And when I eventually get the, this space pressurized, I can actually test the system. I'm thinking the downstairs airlock will be made not as well, because I hope I shouldn't be using it as much. So it'll just be made as a basic airlock. Right, so to get cabling for this. How am I best to do that? Probably going around the outside of the light. Through the pipe, and there.
Jetpack low.
Right, let's go sort out my air and my jetpack. My air's down to 484 kilopascals. Yes, Shadow already did her lasso redemption. She's in the queue now. There are quite a few for us to do. And I don't know when we're going to get time to do it.
Air tank critical.
What? Oh, no.
Jetpack critical. Jetpack low.
I did it again.
Jetpack critical.
Yeah, there's basically no oxygen in that. Let's fill it. Jeez. $14. Let's get it all the way up. $16. I'm not sure painting my canisters would have helped. It might have, but I'm not sure that it would have. But does that mean I've put CO2 into my O2 canister thing? I think it does. Yeah. Ah!
Power low.
The filters will get it. I know. Means I get less. Ah. Ah. Actually, is that hot? That's the other problem. How hot was it? It's 38 degrees. Survivable. Dump it in the eating room and refill. That's not a bad idea, actually. Actually, no, I've got a better idea. Recycle it through the system. Doop, doop, doo. So I should be able to just, yeah, filter it all the way through and get it to cycle around again. Although this oxygen system isn't hooked up to the main one. I do need to set up an oxygen filling station off the main one. Off the proper one now. Down to 1.2%. But 2% is probably low enough, and it's at 31 degrees is still pretty cold. Hot. Right. Have that in there. Wait for that to empty. And I'll just accept whatever is here now. Yeah, 99% oxygen. Still a fair bit of oxygen in that tank. Yeah, ideally, going forward, Obviously, I will color the tanks eventually. But ultimately what I'd like is a system that can empty and refill. Or there's like a bottle emptier station and then a bottle filling station for each type. And maybe some purge system for when I accidentally mess it up anyway. So I'll have it all set up so that I can just click a button and it purges the system of all the bad stuff. Or all the stuff that shouldn't be in a particular side. So like if there's oxygen in the jetpack side or if there's CO2 in the air side, I can just purge it and clear it to then restart fresh again. Okay. This should be ready to go. Let's get some walls on. I don't want... Wait, that's flat wall. I don't want flat wall. I want regular wall. I don't think I want windows up the top. But I'll try a window down the bottom and see how I feel about it. Because I'd have to double them over. Make it feel right. Yeah. You know what? I'm okay with this. Let's get some more plastic. Plastic. I don't have any silicon. Do I have any silicon on the wall? I do not. Alright, I've got tons here though. Got anything in there? Nope. Let's get these in. What the? Sure. That was too quick. Give me all of the silicon. Because I'm also going to have to fix my glass house as well once the furnace room is set up. My glass houses are missing some of their windows. Is this going to be 500 grams? I think it will be. No, one more. Then it'll be 500. Yeah. It's now connected to a big tank, so I don't have to worry about overpressuring on evacuating. Suit rack for airlocks. Yeah, I think for the main exit the base airlock, I'd probably do that. But that's, again, one of those things that I'm putting off until I've redone most of the rooms of the base. Or at least the production room and stuff so that I can pressurize my whole base. Because my plan, once the production and storage rooms are done, so that I'll connect up between the cooling and everything, is to make this space all properly enclosed so that I can pressurize the whole base. And the only airlock that really needs to stay shut is the one to outside, which will then get upgraded to something nicer. With a suit thing in it and everything, and then I can keep my suit off the whole time I'm moving around my base. Unless I'm mining. In which case, leaving my suit off would be a very bad idea. I had I thought I picked up most of the ingots before they got destroyed, but maybe I didn't. But I did pick up a few of them at least before they got destroyed by the storm. Yeah, it is possible I lost some ingots. I think I was actually already out of silicon before the storm. Okay, and glass. I'm not sure if I want to double glaze this or if I want to just put the glass in on one of the walls. Grey Cloak, the reason this powered vent keeps turning on and off is because of my jetpack. There is still a tiny amount of gas moving around that's slowly getting to it. And every time I use my jetpack, I keep adding more gas to that. Look better. Both in? Maybe for the... nah. I'm gonna get rid of the... There we go. Put a floor in. And get the wall on this side. And I don't know what to do for a ceiling, so I'm just gonna do this. And hope that I don't need to mess with anything. Because I probably shouldn't have done this until I'd actually set up the airlock. Oops! In for it. There we go. On some of it, I may as well do all of it. Nice. Turn my light off. Yay! Airlock without a lip. Alright. The airlock is big so that I can fit big powered vents, which will actually empty this 4-square airlock faster than small vents would empty a single cube one, as it turns out. Set pressure to that. Should be more than enough gas in there. Now we need... This one goes to... Vent. What should I count as outside? I think I'll count the... In the case of this airlock, I'm going to count the furnace room as outside, so... That's inside vent, and this is outside vent. This will be furnace. This will be main hall. Then... Don't think I need to name anything else. Turn that on. Turn that on. Turn Turn that on. Find my disc. Which I think is in my... Yep. Alright, so these do need to be set to 0 for now, because I don't have pressure in these spaces. So... Outside vent. Gas sensor. Furnace. Main hole. Interior. Go. Done. Take disc out. Airlock will cycle. Hooray! It shouldn't take too long. Like, obviously, as I've mentioned before, eventually what I'd like to do is replace these airlocks with ones that can be kept open and left open all the time. I'm not sure about the furnace room, whether I want to leave it to always be able to be open, because that's a bit of a safety issue. But for other airlocks, I definitely want to have it as an openable thing. I did turn the labeler off, didn't I? Yeah. Just saw in comments. I hate the noise the labeler makes. No, Twipped, you can't fit these gigantic things into a single room without doing weird things with the console and stuff, so I didn't want to do that. Looks a lot neater and tidier this way. Alright. So that's that airlock done. Let's get the downstairs done. Should be, which I'm going to make much more straightforward. The other advantage of a big airlock is any pipes that I need to push through, I've got plenty of room for. Because I'm going to need some pipes going in and out of the furnace room. So having left space for that is beneficial as well. I don't think it needs a monitor in it for the waiting time. Hopefully I'm never waiting long enough for that to matter. Don't wanna? Yeah. I will cable this up properly. I'll do it all up now. That way it's done. So tempting just to leave this airlock unfinished, but no. I will do it. I'll set it up. So, this one's going to use regular old vents because it doesn't need to be quick. It shouldn't be the one I'm using all the time. Oh. Let's repair that. Rather than leaving a busted console as part of my airlock. Not. Need two. I think it's crowbar to take the thing off. Yeah. Using stuff instead of dropping it on the floor. What a novel idea. Yes. I don't think I've been avoiding reusing stuff all that much, have I? I'm forgetting something that I did? I think I've been reusing when I've had the chance. Uh, light in the ceiling. Can I make that work with these? I think I can. This will be not a fancy light. We go active vent there. Let's swap this one around to go that way. Yeah, I should be able to make that work. A passive vent up on the wall here. Passive vent up on the wall here. Oh no. I just realized something I did. So you know those pipes that I didn't recolor to make them any sort of sensible color? They're all in behind the walls now. Uh-oh. Grey works well enough for this. It's not actually CO2, but whatever. Yeah. Are they fully out of sight? You can see a little bit of the orange there. A little bit of the blue there. It'll be fine. You can barely see it. What else do I need for downstairs? I need gas sensor. Then an APC. Power controller needs some iron. Let's smelt some iron. That going. What else do I need? Long term, I think I'm happy with the jetpack being CO2. It's what I've got most available to me. I don't really want to be bleeding nitrogen outside. Like if I'm using the jetpack while mining or something like that. So CO2 is basically free, so it feels like the best option. Yes, APC is Area Power Controller. The Area Power Control. Got some big batteries over here, which I can use. No, this is not... I'd say this game is probably more similar to Oxygen Not Included than it is to Space Engineers. At least with regards to managing atmospherics and all that sort of stuff, because there's a lot of that. Whereas it doesn't have the vehicle building, which is really the core of Space Engineers. To me, anyway. I did that the wrong way around. What am I doing? Oh, I didn't. Oh well. Whatever. Oh no, I did do it the wrong way around. It just flipped as I went to place it. Okay, that's set up. Gonna need a bunch more cable. So I need a bunch of cable. I need... What else do I need? And a light. That's it. Bunch of cable and a light. Flash crafter. Kind of feels like... Amusingly, that kind of feels like Oxygen Not Included is
Wasteland
arguably the
caution.
midpoint between SE and Stationeers, then at least with the Rockets DLC for Oxygen Not Included. Maybe. I've never played with the Rockets in Oxygen Not Included. I never got that far. And I mostly played Oxygen Not Included well before the DLC was a thing. You happy down there, crazy dog? Rolling around? Growling at nothing? Or play snorting at nothing? Thanks, Reaper Titan. Thanks for the Prime sub. No, I just missed it. Thanks, Malakat. Thank you for the 7 months. How did I miss those two? What was I focusing on? Oops. That'll happen sometimes. Okay. Light. That's what I was meaning. Light. Light, light, light. Need a light. Whee. Also, Reaper, if you're meaning like on-screen notifications, I've never had those. That's not a thing I've ever done. Not a fan of them. Wait, that would make more sense to go this way. Then we go down this side. Oh, that's loud enough that it gets through the microphone. Charlie's ears slap against her head. Okay, that should all be cabled up. Nice talk, Toff. Hope you have fun with Archean. No Wasted and I have been. Would have had even more fun if not for my power going out last week. That was especially annoying. So I was we were right in the middle of like doing some really, really fun stuff and then just all the power gone. Being so happy for no reason that you just roll around on your back making weird noises. Gotta love dogs and be jealous of them. Not just dogs! Small children do that too. Kill. Pop a wall in. And that needs plastic, doesn't it? I've run out of plastic. Okay, we got some more. But I've successfully separated the rooms, so that's going to reduce the storm chances, which is good. I just make one? No, this is the power output, and so the output goes to here. And then it's heavy cable on this side because that goes through to all my generators and batteries and things. Which I should probably expand sooner rather than later. Because how is my power looking? Still healthy, but not as healthy as it was. We go. Now labeling. Oh, that's not how you spell furnace. Furnace and main. I don't think maintenance fits. Oh, find out. 00. Furnace exterior gas sensor. Oh. Oh, this one's confused. See if that fixes it. See if that's enough. Hey! Gas sensor, furnace exterior. Outside vent exterior. Set to 0. And it should work. Hooray! Didn't let myself walk away from this job half done. It's a miracle. Just the big vents for the upstairs airlock. The downstairs one is maintenance, so should be rarely used, so not as big a problem if it's slow. At least that's my theory. Okay, so I do have another furnace, obviously, because I got this one here, which means as I dismantle this and move the hot gas into the new furnace room, I can put this one set up hooked up to outside air in the hope that I can then use that for my off-gassing. So let's begin by moving the hot stored gas into the new room. Where have I got? I got a turbo pump lying around. I think I still might. That's probably what I want to use. Did I use it over here somewhere? Some weird reason? Oh, also, did I manage to get all of my pollutant out of this yet? So I can remove that filter. No. It'll get there. It will eventually get rid of it all because once this big tank is empty and all these sorting lines are empty, then it'll be done. And we're down to 2 megapascals, so we're close. I don't see any turbo pump there. I think I am going to want a turbo pump to make this happen a bit quicker. JP Mystic, as I mentioned before, I'm not off-gassing to outside air. I'm off-gassing using outside air to provide the heat, and then the gases go into the sorting system, including some of that outside air. So yeah, that's my plan with that. It's It's not going to be throwing away stuff. It's all good. I have long since learnt that I need to hold on to my gas as long as I can. Now, where do I want to put this? I see the pipe. So that's meant to be my hot gas pipe, so if I just pop this... This doesn't really matter. Maybe upstairs? Ah! I don't know where to put this so that it's only temporary, but I just want to have it near cabling. At least I don't have to do that much. Let's do. I'll put it here. I'll put it floating in the air because it doesn't need to remain. I'm gonna need
Hydration critical.
a bunch of pipes though. So I got many lying around in here. Don't have any. All right, let's manufacture more pipes. Any up on the walls? No. I need more steel. That's silver. Oh man, I gotta smelt some steel. Alright. One. 2. 3. 4. 1. 2. I have to do it this slowly, because otherwise they fall on the floor. Like that. That's, I think, because it's full. And now I don't know where I was up to. I think I just finished a batch. Oh, whatever. I can balance it at the end, I'm sure. The old furnace area does have lots of pipe, but I don't know which... A lot of it needs to remain as I'm moving stuff across, so I can't really easily utilize it. And it's certainly not going to be enough anyway. Still processing. I'm going to need to sort out my food and water again. So we're up to 600 grams of iron. If I go through to 750... then I should need... So that would be 250 grams of hydrocarbon. Yep. That should be right. 3 to 1. Get all that gas out. Oh yeah, I'm sure I'll need more steel later. Don't worry. I'm not I'm not silly enough to think that this is going to be enough. This is just enough for me to use as a working volume for now. To get where I need to get. Come on. That'll do. we go. Steel. Man, it's nice having that super, super hot gas to work with for this. Love it. Okay, now that can work, and I can go and have a drink and some food. The need for steel never ends. The wanting to make it does, though. Accurate. What pump? I turned the pump off, didn't I? Swear I did. Because I'm being asked, I'm going to check. Yeah, I turned the input pump off. It's the first thing I did before I popped out the steel. See? Off. Off, off, off. Happy to check that, though, because I wouldn't want to be, oh, I'm so confident, and then hear this boom as it explodes. That'd be bad. Yeah, I was pretty confident I did that one right. I really do wish the fridge had a light. Ready.
Oxygen low.
What? Why is oxygen low?
Oxygen critical.
What was in my suit that my oxygen got low? Oh, is it this? Is it the nitrogen? I think I'm gonna have to put nitrogen filters in my suit. Yeah, definitely. I'm putting this in there and we'll see if this fixes the problem. Because with heavy filters in the other slots, it shouldn't be too much of a problem most of the time. Like, obviously my CO2 filters last for ages, so I don't need to worry about them. And needing more than one slot taken up with them. More pipe. There we go. Hopefully that's going to prevent that problem. Okay. Hot gas tank. That's this one, so let's start running it around. I'm intentionally running this not in the floor because it's a reminder that this is not meant to be permanent. This is meant to go away. The old furnace oxygen filters are long since gone. I removed them a couple of weeks ago. Hopefully, the hot gas will be able to be moved over in a short period of time because I'm using a turbo pump. So that I can remove it today, this line that I'm building. I mean, I'm obviously going to need to have a line running out to the, like, the roof heater. But I'm just not sure how I want to do that just yet, so I'm going to hold off on that until I've figured out the roof space as well. I figure if I make the temporary thing annoying enough, it's much less likely to remain. Hence, building this above the floor height and slightly blocking my passage through. And should be more pipe now. How many more is in here? Can I wait for 40? No. It's only at 3. Yeah. The reason for the trip hazard was this is going to be really annoying and I'm definitely going to fix it. Okay. Piping done. Let's put some cables onto this thing and start the pumping. My thinking, which probably wasn't the right thinking, was that putting the pump in here made it easier for me to cable it up. Just make sure I have got the correct gas on there. Yep. Let's go. Yeah, this should work pretty quickly. Pressure in the system is going to drop dramatically because I've gone from a small tank to a big tank. Yeah, I probably should have put the pump at the other end so then I could just dismantle the pipe for gradually pushing the gas along as I went. I was unfortunately thinking about cabling ease before speed of this. No, I've got no interest in having more capacity than one big tank. I think that's plenty. Because if it ever gets cold, I'm stuck with even more gas that I have to heat up, which will take even longer. Neff, the tutorial for Stationeers is still accessible if you roll back to the phase change version. You can then run the tutorial, but alternatively use the wiki to get up to speed, I would say. This isn't going to take long at all. Good. Now, once that's done, I can probably start dismantling things. Almost everything in here. Yeah. Think? Yeah, that's another fair point, Shadow. Watch the start of people's playthroughs of it, and you'll get a pretty good idea of how to start out in Stationeers, and then from there on, you've got plenty of time to figure it out from wikis and from the in-game Stationpedia, which has got a lot of information in it. Gaming Overalls, I did show off the Larry thing. It's something I want to build. I'm really excited about having a mobile arm to use for harvesting plants, because I think that's a much cooler system than having just fixed arms that are a lot less interesting to watch. So to me, the rail-based arm actually kind of makes me want to use the arm system, whereas the fixed system just made it look too much like a factory for my taste. Shadow, how have you not seen the Larry? I thought you, of all people, would have seen these things. This thing. And it's not just for plants. They're hoping to get it to be usable for more things. Is this almost done? No, now it's in the slow phase. Okay, so now I need to make sure that the waistline is empty around here, so I can remove it. This is complicated, removing this stepwise like this. You know what? I know I sorted out this CO2 from the other thing. There's not very much of it, and I'm just going to mix them so that I can get rid of it. Okay. That CO2 is now hooked up. I've now just got to figure out where on earth I have a way to pump this out to the other system. I thought I had a pump around here, maybe? Set up to drag all that through? Or did I just remove that pump and then hook them all up together? I think I might have removed that pump. So I need to put a pump in at worst here. But think about what I was saying before, maybe I should hook it up and gradually empty out stuff through here. I've emptied this tank first, I can then get rid of it. That's annoying. Wanted to make it easier for me to wire this up, not when I had to do ridiculousness like that. Okay, max the rate. Still gonna be slow, but that'll empty out that tank. Then I can remove that tank. Then I'll move this pump down the line and then remove the next tank. And eventually, where do these things go? I'm so confused by my own piping setup here. What have I done? So there we go. That goes out. So yeah, okay, right, makes sense. Then I've got an overpressure valve here, which I don't need anymore, so I can get rid of that. So that pump was meant to be for when the system got too high pressure. And this goes to outside, which I don't need anymore. I probably want to get rid of uninsulated pipe that goes to outside before I pressurize this space anyway. So that would be a very, very quick way of heating up my base. Very, very hot. Alright. That's another little bit cleaned up. It's slowly getting better. Do I have somewhere else to empty my waste tank? Yeah, I've got these ones here, which run onto this network. But I do need to, yeah, good point. Set up a new way to empty my waste tank. Oh, this is almost done. So I think I might set up a little emptying station right here. So that I've got somewhere to offload at least for the moment. I think I want to do that. Robot. What I want is... maybe I go large panel. Yeah. Think that'll look alright. So time to dismantle one of my emptying stations. Ha! This is finished. I can turn off the turbo pump. And dismantle this whole system for the hot gas. Make sure before I do it. Yep. Menu off. I'm in here. I may as well dismantle from in here. Except I'm going to run out of inventory space for all the pipes. Do. See, told you this would be temporary. And it actually was. I didn't make a liar of myself this time. There we go. I'm going to need a lot of piping for some other stuff I've got in mind. So this is not going to be in excess for very long. But I think I'm going to try and remove this entire hot gas side of things right away. Because then I've at least got less pipe spaghetti to figure out as I remove the other bits. Okay, and... hooray! Hot gas. Storage removed. So, now. Bottle emptying. Let's get onto that. So... now I have a turbo pump running for bottle emptying over here. Was that emptying? Yeah, so I've always got a turbo pump. Alright. Turbo pump it is. I'm gonna have to move the whole script and rewrite it and things. No! Hope. Oh. Dang it. Alright. Well, I know what my job is now. Get this set up. Don't need the tank. What do I have in my inventory I don't need to be carrying around? Not that I have any storage for it. We'll get rid of those. Okay. I need... Probably should just dismantle this setup, including this powered vent. I probably don't need it anymore. Because when I hook this up to my gas management system, it's going to work very differently. At least I don't need this where it is currently, I guess is a better way to put that. These over here for now. Come on me. So that's just waste gas, so I can dismantle that. Back to its last junction. There we go. A little bit more removed. That's good. Every time I'm clearing up a little bit, it's like, yay, another bit done. Yay, another bit done. Where is this going from? That's empty. Where is that going? Dead end. All right, let's remove that. Cool. Another bit gone. I'll pick these up and take them through. Because what I think I'm going to do... I'm probably going to need to have... Actually... So, let me try and talk this through to make more sense. So, do I want to have an independent gas emptying thing that dumps into a big dumping pipe network across the whole base? Or do I want to have a separate gas emptying line that runs throughout the whole base that runs off a single turbo pump that sits in here? Looking at my line for gas mixing, I probably could have... No, I can't use gas emptying off this line. This line won't work. I'm going to need to have a waste line running throughout the base that is for my bottles. Because I want to have bottle emptying stations in various places. Or do I? Do I need to have it in more than just the main airlock once I'm set up? Maybe I don't. Hmm. I think I'll set up a waistline that runs throughout the whole base for emptying my bottles, at least for now, because I am going to want to have a few locations for emptying my waste tank for the moment. Which means figuring out how I can set one up somewhere in here to begin with. I was thinking in front of this waste tank, but maybe actually back here makes more sense in this little corner. I can put the icy housing there for it. And I go and grab that bottle and bottle thingy. There was something I was going to try as well. Oh, hold up. How quickly does... I just had an idea. I want to test how quickly it works. If I put this here, then I put... I got one? I have a back pressure regulator set to 0. Does that empty this? And how quickly does it do it? I presume I need to have a bit of pipe between. Wait, I don't want back pressure. I want do I want a pressure regulator or a back pressure reg? I never understand how these things work. Keep getting them wrong. I need more cables. Cable. Reasonably fast. How much power do back pressure regulators use? Because that was the reason why I had it on a script. 100 watts. Volume pumps use 200 watts, and the turbo pump uses 500? 600. Yeah. Hmm. Not sure. Not sure. Feel like I may want to just run the script and set this up like I did before. Probably end up using less power overall, but also empty my bottles quicker. Because what I was imagining was having 3 of these in a row with back pressure regulators on them, and then I'll always have multiple empty bottles, but also for when I go out mining, I'll have 2 slots ready to go to empty, and it shouldn't then mix the gases, and then I have to wait for them all to empty, which is kind of annoying. But I could just have a one-way valve. That would probably be more sensible. Let's do that. I see housing. I don't know how much that uses. 50 watts. Okay, so maybe it doesn't save a huge amount of power? Yep. I'm just gonna do the system I had before. I quite liked it. And I think having one-way valves will work nicely for what I've got in mind. I don't want that against the wall. I want them sticking out a bit. So we'll go... I'm not blocking the transformer. We'll go one there. Then I need some brown pipe. There, and there. And then we got the turbo pump to go collect. I'll put this. Valve. Wait, are valves on the one-way valves on these? I mean, not valves. One-way? I should have some in here. No Barnaby, you're 100% wrong there. Largely because I think you're missing the way that I'm imagining this is going to work. The big tank does not need to be emptied. Because this is not connecting to the big tank. This is connecting to a turbo pump that's pumping into the big tank. So it's empty. Let's clear it off. Yeah, I've got enough waste tank. It's fine. We'll get this built in time. Surely. Okay. Turbo. The turbo pump. I want this in the floor so I can access it. Where should I put this? I might put it behind. I can eventually get it to rotate the way I want. Because the tooltips don't actually align with what I'm expecting. And after playing so much Space Engineers, I anticipate most things work differently to how they do in Stationeers. And every other game that uses rotations like this. Actually, I'm going to do this from below. That makes more sense. Pump in this side. Okay, like that. Right there. Okay, cool. So that'll hook up to the main waistline. And this side hooks up to all of the valves. Then we'll have a nice non-mixing of the valves of the bottles, which is entirely to solve one tiny little situation. So I often go outside mining, and then I come back with 2 waste tanks full. And what I don't want to have to do is wait for one of them to empty so that I can empty the second one. Instead, what this should allow me to do is vacuum out that, which will suck out all of them, but swap this one over, and then swap this one over because it'll already be empty, and there'll be no gases from the original one coming back around into it. So that should hopefully be a solid system. Now, I just need to set up the IC and pipe monitor. Yes, that is a much cleaner way of saying that, Taken. It won't backfill into the already empty bottles, which is what it was doing before, which was really annoying. And when I want to expand this system to include more other, like when I want to expand this system, it should be easy. I just have to pipe off the back side of it and connect up to put it further throughout the base. But at least for now, this should be fine and workable. So I'm not going to worry about having this on its own setup. I think it should be fine off this circuit, because this circuit's just for the filters. Hopefully that's enough power. Guess we'll find out if I'm about to draw it and cook some wires once the turbo pump turns on. But I don't think I've got any big power hungry things. The most power hungry things I've got are the filters. So all my cooling is on its cooling setups are on their own separate loops. Uh logic chips I think use more power usually than IC because you need more than one of them. Logic. Oh, probably should have searched IO. That might have been faster. Nope. Is that... There we go. So let's just go logic math. Uses 10 watts. So you possibly, with the right setup, could make it more efficient than using an IC chip. But I'm trying to get better at using ICs, so I kind of like the idea of continuing to use it from a me learning perspective. Turn that on. Okay. So now, labeler. Bottle empty analyzer. Analyzer. Bottle empty pump. And that should be it. Bottle empty IC housing. Just in case that shows up later. Alright, so on device 1, I will eventually find bottle empty analyzer. On device 2, I will eventually find the pump. Huh? Huh? What? Oh, I haven't connected the data side of it. I'm a dum-dum. Forgot that step. Only connected up the power side of the pump. Also, I made floaty cables. I'm going to get rid of the floaty cables. There we go, that's better. Idea. That should work now. The gas line is not connected after the pump. I should probably fix that while I'm down here. Huh. Is there any reason that I can think of that this couldn't just be my waistline for the whole base, regardless of what's in it? And I don't think there is. I think this can run my entire base. So what I was thinking was I'd have like a bottle emptier waistline and a regular waistline, but it should be the same line because this turbo pump should pump out whatever it is and put it into the big tank. So that should be okay. I'll be back in just a second. I need to take a quick bio break. 1 moment.
Hunger caution.
Um, yes, if I hadn't connected this, that would have exploded as soon as that pump turned on. If I actually had some gas in the bottles, that would have been bad. I also probably... No, there's nothing else I need to do. I just need to go find my laptop. Did it get destroyed in the storm? Oh, I cannot tell you how much I'm looking forward to having a pressurized base so I can hear things. The silence is kind of deafening in a way. Does anyone remember me picking up the laptop during the storm? I think it might have gone. I might need a new laptop. Just quickly check my shelves to make sure I'm not making one for no good reason. Just check my power again while I'm thinking about it. No, power's still good. My air system is working as intended, yes. So I should hook up the greenhouse so that I can make sure the plants are safe. But I'll do that once I've done this. I might actually do that next after this bit. Because it'll be good to get that oxygen out of the greenhouse and the CO2 back in because it needs it. Alright, make another laptop. Yeah, Shadow Drake. Things like hearing pipe creaks and stuff like that is certainly a safety element that would be useful. Oh dear, Tex. Uh, that's a tortured pun. I don't think I need a fancy battery for this. Do need a motherboard though. IC editor motherboard. Figured I needed a new dad joke. I haven't really... I think... As much as this... saddens me a bit. I think I have started to make more puns. So I don't know if that saddens me or... I don't know how I feel about that. What I do know is that I should make sure I've got D0 and D1 sorted. So D0 is the analyzer, D1 will be the pump. That's all I need. Because this one's not going to control any vents, so it should be fine. The system's all different to what I had before. So, here we go. I'm going to do a thing. Let's see how long it takes me to write this and see whether... Will I forget to put on my suit? Of course. Not now you made a prediction. Doesn't let me write prediction, so let's get rid of the vowels. Prediction. Yeah. Do that. Oh, yeah, got it. Okay. Let's import what's on there, and I'll see what I was working with and whether I need to change it. Pipe sensor was D1, power pump was D1. Oh, cool. I might not need to do much at all. Just need to get rid of the room loop. And jump to start. You can just get rid of all this. So, set setting to R14, which is not required anymore. So I don't have room pressure. So I can set that to 15 so I can read the pipe pressure off the thing. With numlock turning itself off. / me fat fingering and turning it off. Alright. Dang it, I forgot to take my suit off. I need to do that, eat, drink, and then enjoy getting slightly cleaner and less gross. Drink, 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 drink. Alright, so let's just check this again. Ignore that line. So load pipe pressure from the pipe sensor. Just D0. Get pressure. Ground shift greater than 0. Pipe pressure. Turn the pump on. Wait a little while. I might just do a yield here. And then, yeah. Pump stays on. Go back to the start. That should be fine, I think. Oh yeah, this is an experiment for the nitrogen filter in my suit, isn't it? Export. Suit on. Because I've been reminded of that, it's I feel like I should just cancel the prediction because I forgot to take off my suit. I'm not gonna. You could see that I hadn't taken off my suit. I was so stupid I didn't even forget to take... I forgot to take it off. It was that bad. Now, I haven't had a breathing problem this time. But my nitrogen filter hasn't changed status either, but that's probably because there's such a tiny amount of nitrogen it doesn't matter. Okay. Turn you on. State is 0. Pump is 0. Okay. So let's put the waste bottle in. Pump turned on. Oh, state is now reading the pressure. So the pump's turned on. Is the valve slowing this down? Shouldn't. 4 kilopascals. 409. Oh, it is. The one-way valves are slowing it down a bit. Ah. So this gets to vacuum, but this is still emptying. Um, it's a bit annoying, but it won't be too much of a problem. Um, if I put, if I make this pipe network a larger volume, it might make this work a bit better. Like if I change both of these over to inline tanks. Yeah, back pressure regulator requires power though, old man Peppy. So I don't really want to use that. I prefer the one-way valve because it doesn't require any power. Yeah, put a couple of inline tanks in and that should help it a bit. I mean, overall, this system will be quicker because I'm not actually going to be standing there waiting because I'll have 3 bottle emptiers there. But the reason I want it to happen quicker than it is currently is that if I do that, the pump doesn't have to stay on as long. So the quicker it happens, the less time the pump stays on, the less power I use. But hopefully this will help it a bit. Because this should make more of the gas equalize per tick because there's more volume for it to go into. Should I put it in? Do these operators separate networks or are these the same network? Yeah, I thought these counted as the same network once the canister went in, so that should be... it's good enough. I've now reached the point where I'm like, I don't care anymore. I'm happy with it as is. This is going to be good enough. Got so much stuff that I don't need to be carrying all the time, especially these guys. No, wait, I want to carry that. Get rid of those backpacks. I also wish... oops. I wish for the tool belt, we could repurpose these slots and force them to be tool slots so that my angle grinder would go to there when I do a quick drop. I know it's never going to happen, but I kind of wish it would. Okay, so these are my active mining backpacks. Down in the corner here. Oh, that's my gas backpack. Let's put that there. The tools you use rarely in them. Oh, yeah, smart. Labeler can go there. That should be the only tool that needs to. The rest of them should be fine. Yeah. Nice one. Makes sense? Alright. So, next step. More tank emptying thingies. Get them sorted. No, wires into the last 2 slots won't work, Takari. Because I do use the wires a lot, so they come in and out, and then they get quick dropped back in. And it creates the same problem. But the labeler I use so rarely, it should work quite well. Huh. Spray the canister while it's in the thing. That in there. Put that on the ground. Give it a spray. Yeah. Oh, and spray one more thing. Okay, so that's part of my tanks resprayed.
Jetpack critical.
There's the jetpack one. There's that one. I think I've got another one round front of the base. I'll check the big tank in a minute. Just want to actually do this thing since I've started this process. Let's finish it. Don't know why I'm manually moused that to my hand, but it's done now. Okay, so let's go pick up the white, and we'll paint the oxygen ones white, and then we're done. There's my white paint. And this will make some people happy. Hopefully mean I suffocate less often. That over. Oopsie. Didn't mean to spray paint that. Go. Oxygen things labeled. Slightly less chance of me swapping the wrong tanks now. Am I feeling alright? I'm feeling like I was a... I feel really stupid for the canister stuff up that I did. That's where this is coming from. I feel really stupid for that. There is an issue though, and I'm going to rectify it because although this is CO2, I do not like this being grey. It needs to be a different color because it is really not that obvious that it's not my air tank. It is pretty much pure CO2 actually. Because it is filtered CO2 from the outside atmosphere. Purple will do. Didn't mean to do that. Okay. Now, back to the furnace. So what do I need to do next? Got my hot gases in there. I need to continue pumping out all of this waste gas. So is this thing empty yet? Close enough too. How much oxygen was in that? 0.218 millimoles. Don't care. I'm going to disassemble this. Jetpack and breathing lines the same color. Yeah, I know. I couldn't think of a better color that I had already printed off. So I just went with purple. I just wanted something that was definitely not white. I may well repaint my breathing tanks to purple and swap them back around and make the grey the jetpack. No, Malakat, I used a pump, pipe analyzer, and IC to save power on 3 back pressure regulators. Not just 1. It'd be 3, because I need 1 per line. Well, I wouldn't necessarily need 1 per line. I suppose I could have 1 shared one, but then it'd be really slow, and I don't want really slow. Okay, where are we at? 900 kPa. So this line is actually getting close to empty. That's the big tank at 900 kilopascals. That's what I'm down to. 895. Did I get any volatiles through? No. I think that's enough. Decent amount of nitrogen. Right. So yeah, effectively what I've set up here is a system to empty this as quickly as possible, and then a system to slightly make it less power costly to do so. Because I want it to empty quickly, but I don't want it to be super costly, as in running the turbo pump constantly. So where am I going to stick a pump in to empty this stuff a bit quicker? I want to empty that tank, so I probably want to run it up here somewhere. Yeah. Here will do. Turn that on. That should start emptying this stuff out. A little bit faster, but it's still going to take quite a while for this to empty. I don't really want to make another turbo pump, but I suppose I could, just to speed this up. I'm sort of tempted to just throw a couple of extra pumps down, because I've got a few. I don't have to make another component. Why not? Let's put a couple of extra ones down. As I said in the recent scrapyard, if it's stupid and it works, it's still stupid, but it works. Just my preferred phrasing of that particular thing. go. Turn the pumps up. That's a little bit cozy. Now, how quickly is this going to empty? A little bit faster. That's better. There's only 6 moles of O2 in here. 12 moles of nitrogen. So there's not a lot, but I suppose that's in the pipeline. There's also this much. So, okay, there's probably enough gas in here that's worth trying to empty it out. Because there's also this tank too. Yeah, actually, there's definitely enough in there. It's worth pumping to save it. But I should empty out the furnace as well, because it's got some gas in there. But it's not going to let me unless I put a pipe on the input line. There we go. That's empty. Oh. I just had an idea. I think it's a good one. I've got a turbo pump right here. So that's the input. So that needs to hook up to what was the output. Not like that. And this needs to hook up to the waistline. And then I have a turbo pump, because it's pumping at 100 liters a second. Brilliant. Because then I can go input and output. Now I'm thinking with portals. Oh yeah. Perfect. Well, if we gotta have the furnace there. I was just, as I'm emptying it out, I'm like, wait a second. There's a better answer here. This is abuse of built-in furnace pumps. Yep. Yes, it is. As it should be. But this is going to get me down to a point where I can rip out this whole system so much faster. While that's working, let's pull these up and go move them into the furnace room. Now, the arc furnaces. I need to have them... kind of want to be able to see the heaters when they're on. Oh, I had a turbo pump sitting right here that I could have used. I'd already made. Forgot that was there. That was dumb. Oh well. So. I think I might put these up here. Because if I put it there, and then there, I should be able to drop in and have a chute system run around the back that then pops out, and still put the wall in along here as I was planning. So I should still be able to use those controls, right? Maybe? That can be blocked by a wall? Or am I going to have to... Maybe I'll... I think they sit too deep in. I think I'll be blocked. Whereas this is intentionally sticks out. Uh. I'm going to need some sort of logic system to have these turn themselves on. Oh well. We can work that out. I could probably just... I could... Huh. Could I just repeatedly send a signal just to turn it on? Like, make it even simpler than read slot and just go... Just repeatedly send it a signal? Don't even worry about whether it's got stuff in it. Just send it. Send it. If it works, it works. If it doesn't matter. Wait till something turns up. Logic switch, you think? Alright, let's figure out a logic switch then. It's kind of like a timer block activating itself and the thing. That's the system I'm more familiar with. Button, switch, lever, button, dial. Lever. Wait, does that need like a tool to activate it? Okay, I just want to switch. Hook up power first, which means I'm going to need a transformer. Yeah, why didn't the lever let me interact with it? Oh, I'm at the yellow bit. No, I don't want a lever. I want to switch. Or a button? Maybe just a... Oh, no, let's go switch. Do I need anything between the switch and the machines, or can that just do the whole thing? If I set it up correctly. Need a logic writer. Yeah, I thought I needed something else. Or a batch writer. Uh-oh. I think the game just crashed. No! Why? No! Don't know. I hope the last autosave wasn't far long ago. Arrgh. No! Yes, Aries, the facepalm is accurate. Oh dear. Do 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 do. Oh, not too long ago. Yeah. Not too long ago at all. Excellent. There's a switch in the IOs? Huh. Let's see what they look like. Logic writer switch. Okay. That's good to know. I think I'll use the batch anyway, because if I'm smelting stuff with these, I typically use both. Need more cable. And I haven't made the transformer either. Which I'm going to need a lot more cable. So I need heavies as well. And I need more copper. Oh, no. No. This timing could not be worse. Ah, oh, that's so irritating. I need copper. And I've just disassembled everything. Oh, there is a transformer on the ground behind me. Good point. Probably should have used that. That would have saved some copper. Which extra cable can I steal from around here? Repurpose, I should say. Quite a bit. Good, good, good. So much cable. Alright, so that's all the copper I've got. Hopefully that's going to get me far enough with the heavy cable to get to the transformer so that I can get to plugging in the two furnaces so I can smelt some copper easily. So I don't think I've sorted out... I can't remember whether I've sorted out my waistline for the proper furnace yet. Looks like I have. That should be okay. So, heavy cable will continue from here. Nerds. Didn't quite make it far enough. Sure, I can repurpose some other copper and some other wiring. It'll be fine. I know I could... I know there are other solutions, but I'm just hoping I can use this as an opportunity to clean up a bit. Oops, didn't want to do that. I think this is the shorter axis. Yes. There we go. A little bit tidier. Still temporary, but it is a bit more tidy. Should make it a bit easier to follow what's going on as I gradually improve this. Yeah, I reckon there was no more than a minute or two time lost with that autosave, so that was handy. Transformer. It's ready to go now. Can I see this from underneath properly? Yes, good. Oop, that needs to be a T-piece, so I can bring power to both. That hooked up. There we go. So the wiring under the floor is done. Now I can just fix up the stuff on top. Yeah, I could have switched, like, not needed the last few bits of cable and just put the transformer in, but I wanted to try and do this properly now rather than having to come back later and fix it up. So, batch writer, go there. Does it matter which data connection you use for a switch? No, my plan is to just... Oh. Actually, yeah. Do I want to have a separate... Do I care about having it on all the time? Base power usage 5 watts. Nah. I was just planning on leaving these on, so just switching them on like that. And then this switch, when I toggle it on, will start spamming that button, basically. That's the idea of that. So that it will then actually start the process, because what's going to be here soon will be a wall, and I'll need a way to activate these from behind the wall because I'm going to enclose all of these furnaces in their own separate room that has a powered vent sucking the air out. Yeah, Toff, it'll mean I can't do the interrupting thing like I've done sometimes, but that's not too big an issue. Because I will also have my extra furnace setup that's for simple, it'll work for gold and copper. So it'll really only be iron that I would have to wait for the entire process for. And that's the quickest one, so that kind of works out well. So, if I put that switch to state 1, that keeps sending us state 1 to this. In is the switch. Output type is arc furnace. Output variable is activate. I presume. So now, if I throw that in... Oh, so it's only going to activate once per switching. Hmm. Maybe I want to turn this to a button then. I just turn it to a button. Because then it lines up with my current experience. So if I hit the button. Oh, no, it switches back. Dang it. I'm going to need a more complex setup. That's annoying. Oh. Yeah, maybe a lever. Also, I have no way to get rid of that gas that just came out. Oops. I know lever's the same as switch, but at least it's more visually satisfying, I guess. Alright. It functions, even if it's not exactly what I was imagining. Important thing is it functions. Agreed, wasted. Not quite as bad as last week, but still a bit more gas than is ideal. But at least it's only in my furnace room. Yeah, whatever. Mine can go in here, so I'm not carrying tiny little 1 gram stacks. I'll put those on the shelf. Right. Oh yeah, Wasted, feel free to jump into TeamSpeak whenever you're ready. I think I've made some good progress, but I've got empty pipes. Yes. Let's turn that off. In fact, let's turn off the input first. Should be empty. Yep. Turn you off. Let's dismantle everything. The old furnace is gone. Makes me happy. I achieved this today, and that is a big achievement.
Hunger caution.
Very big achievement. Because this has been waiting for a long time to happen. Oh yeah. Now I have so much space for activities. Yeah, kind of do. Got so much space for, well, storage. Proper storage may have, maybe. Maybe? Just gonna get rid of this line, at least back to the corner. Actually, no, this one was in a temporary spot. I'm gonna get rid of the whole thing. Even if I end up putting it back there, I hope I won't end up putting it back in the same spot. Because it wasn't where I was intending these pipes to run. There we go. Oh, yes. So good. This feels fantastic. What sort of horrors am I going to unleash upon my storage system that will be more of gigantic storage room than storage system, I suppose? Does the pressure of the ammo determine how much suit gas you use for cooling? Yes, it does. The more pressure, more atmospheric pressure there is, the more heat there is that's transferred to your suit. Therefore, the more cooling that's required. Assuming the atmosphere is hot, of course. I might just... Got a pile of pipes going here. Let's add to it. There we go. That up. Now pull up the cables. Yeah, the thing is, as much as I'm sure people will be happy that when I'm not using the floor for storage, it just means that I'll have a lot of shelves that'll probably be unsorted until I decide that I'm sick of it and I want to fix it off stream at some point. That is not something I am likely to do while live. That just sounds like a terrible idea. I just wish more games would be safe to use floor storage in. So few you can actually trust that your items will still be there when you go back to them. So many cables. So many. Oh. This random vertical cable that was here for a very long time is now gone. Look at that. Heidi. I don't know why I repowered that thing, because that should probably get removed too. Because that was the thing that caused my base to explode. Sweet. Look at that. I got room. Hey, wasted.
Hello. This looked like appropriate timing.
Yeah, I think so.
Task complete.
Yeah. For once. For once I actually completed a task. Feels good. Feels good. Yeah. I think that's a nice point to switch over to some Archean with Wasted and hopefully get us further than we did last week before my power randomly goes out. Hopefully that just doesn't happen this week. That was really annoying.
Ideally, that's not a feature of a Thursday.
Yeah. That was really frustrating. So it wasn't like when my internet goes out and I can still do editing or something. I couldn't do anything.
Well, as far as I understand it, you were also trapped out of the house.
Yeah. Thankfully, the front door lock does have batteries. So it wasn't as bad as it could have been. But yes.
Let's negotiate the fences.
Yes, I did end up negotiating the fences because I was like, well, what else am I going to do? sure it didn't look at all suspicious having a man in wearing Ugg boots climbing over a fence. Oh.
The Uggs may have saved you.
Because it makes you
Honestly,
look like it's your own home.
Pretty unusual that your average robber goes out in a set of Uggs.
Yeah, it's not unusual to see people around where I live wearing Uggs out in public, but it is unusual for them to be robbing a house, I suspect. All right, cool. Well, I'm going to wrap up the Stationeers bit here, but hang around because we're going to go and play some more Arcean.